Welcome back to our channel Classify Community. So today we will be dealing with the lecture 3, that is the elasticity. Here we will know about important useful terms, Young's modulus, rigidity modulus, bulk modulus and Poisson's ratio. So let's begin. So first is the important useful terms. Here we will know about the ductility. So what is ductility? It is the property by virtue of which a material can acquire a large permanent deformation without any fracture or rupture. That means it will change shape without any fracture or rupture. That means you may have heard of a ductile materials like copper, aluminium, steel are all example of ductile metals, right? So ductile is a property that describes the ability of a material to stretch more up in a applied pressure. Okay, so second thing is your brittleness, right? So what is brittleness? So brittleness is the property by virtue of which a material gets ruptured without any appreciable amount of permanent deformation being produced in it. So basically what happens here breaking happens. That means if there will be no given pressure or anything, but it breaks. That means when it's subjected to stress, it breaks with little elastic deformation. That's why a material is brittle to be said. Okay. Now next is that plasticity. It is the ability of material to get deformed continuously and permanently without any rupture. So what happens here? Whatever you do, whatever the last thing you do with the plasticity, it will change. That means it will deform into that shape and it will continuously deform and permanently at whatever the last modified thing is that for that material. Now is the elastic after effect. So delay in recovering back the original condition after the removal of deforming force within elastic limit. That means a thing that our original shape was of something like circle, it changed into square. So when we remove all the pressure, so at that point of time when that square need to be back to its circle, there is a delay, and that is known as elastic after effect. So for example, glass like amorphous materials show slow recovery, whereas metals, quartz like crystalline materials show fast recovery. The fifth is elastic fatigue. So loss of material strength when subjected to repeated strain. So whenever the material is subjected to repeated strain, at that point of time that material has a loss of its strength. So now is the sixth one, that is the working stress and factors of safety. So here generally working stress will be set to far below within the elastic limit for the safety purpose. So what happens here, the working stress will be set to some point within the elastic limit so that there is a safety purpose should be maintained. So factor of safety is tensile strength or breaking stress by per working stress. Okay, so the factor of safety is that tensile strength or breaking stress by working stress. Okay, so generally it is between 5 to 10. So now we will see the Young's modulus. So what is Young's modulus? Young's modulus is defined as the ratio of longitudinal stress to longitudinal strain within the elastic limit. So see, longitudinal strain is small l by capital L, whereas normal stress means longitudinal stress only. So it is mg by pi r square. So hence Young's modulus is longitudinal stress or normal stress by longitudinal strain. So we will put the values and we got that y is equal to mg capital L by pi r square small l. Okay. Now since strain is dimensionless quantity, so the unit of Young's modulus is the same as that of stress. So it will be Newton meter to the power minus 2 or minus square. Okay. Now for metal like iron, steel, copper, aluminium, etc., the Young's modulus is very large. Therefore, these materials require a large force to produce small change in length. That means whatever the force will be given, it will be very large, because so any change for the length will be, so for any small change for the length, they require a very much force, as the Young's modulus is large for this particular metals. Okay, now we will move on to the rigidity modulus. So the rigidity modulus is the ratio of shearing stress to the corresponding shearing strain, called the shear modulus or rigidity modulus of the material. So what is shear stress? So shear stress is equal to shearing force by area under shear. That means F by A, whereas shear strain is the relative displacement of any layer by its distance from a fixed layer. So shear strain can be stated as tan theta, that means equal to theta, and this theta can be also be written as x by h, that means relative displacement of any layer by its distance from a fixed layer. So now we know that modulus of rigidity, and the modulus of rigidity symbol is eta, and it says as shearing stress by shear strain. So shear stress is F by A, so we write F by A, and shear strain is theta, so we can write theta. So F remains above and A comes down, so it becomes FA theta. So if we put the value of this theta equal to x by h, so h goes up and we get as FH by AX. So this is the expression for modulus of rigidity. Now we will see the bulk modulus. So bulk modulus is defined as the ratio of normal stress to volumetric strain within the elastic limit. So normal stress, we know that is F by A, that is force by area, and the volumetric strain is the change in volume, that is delta V, and V, that is the original volume. So it will be F by A by delta V by V. So F and this V will be above and A and delta V will be down. So K is the symbol for this bulk modulus, and K is also referred as incompressibility, and compressibility represents strain per unit. So now we will move on to the last topic, that is the Poisson's ratio. So Poisson's ratio symbol is sigma, is the ratio of lateral strain to the longitudinal strain. So Poisson ratio symbol is this. Now see, we represent this sigma is equal to beta by alpha. So now what is alpha? Alpha is increase in length per unit length, per unit stress in the direction of the stress, and beta is decrease in length per unit length and per unit stress in a direction perpendicular to the stress. So this beta is what? Per unit length, decrease in length per unit stress in the direction of the wherever the stress is applied, that perpendicular, beta will decrease to length and its per unit length as well as per unit stress. Okay, and alpha will be the opposite, that will be the increase in length and in the direction of stress, not the perpendicular. So we know that here that strain is epsilon long is L dash minus L. So L is the original. So whenever it given something pressure or whatever, so it become L dash. So epsilon long is equal to L dash minus L, and epsilon latitude, that means lat, is equal to D dash minus D. Okay, and it will be divided by the original, that is D. So the Poisson's ratio is V is equal to minus E longitudinal by E lat. So beta is the lateral strain per unit stress and alpha is the longitudinal strain per unit stress. So I hope all of you understood the lecture of today, and thank you for watching. Till then, be happy and have a great day. See you in the next lecture, and if you have any queries, comment us down below.
Wow, that's impressive! You have completed a magic today. For more videos, subscribe. Join our Facebook group and Instagram page for group discussion and live Magus videos for exam preparation in an hour. We start at Classfly community for students to learn from a friend in a simple way and support them in their own languages. If you are willing to be that one friend who saves us at the exam night preparation, then please join us by visiting classfly.in.